we're gonna be doing uh, functions and all that stuff. Whatever. Uh, so your best friend in solving these type of factoring equations are gonna be negative b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. But for x squared plus 16x plus 63, it's pretty simple to square. What you can do is just find two numbers that multiply equals 63, and when you add it equals 16, so that's gonna be 9 and 7, so it could be x plus 9 and x plus 7, both in different parentheses. And for the next one, we're gonna be doing using the quadratic formula. It's gonna be like in the order, so it's gonna be a, b, and c. So x squared right in front of that, it's gonna be like imaginary 1. That's gonna be your A. 12 is gonna be your B, and 10 is gonna be your C. And then you just plug the numbers in there, and then you should get negative 12 plus minus square root of 12 squared minus 4 times 4 parentheses 1 close parentheses 10 close parentheses over 2 times 1. So then once you simplify everything, so it's going to be, so you're going to have 12 squared, which is 144, and then 4 times 1, negative 4 times 1 is going to be 4, and then negative 4 times 10 is going to be negative 40. Subtract 40 from 144, and it's going to be 104 inside the square root thingy. And then on the outside, it's going to be the same thing, 12, negative 12 plus minus, and it's going to be over 2. What I saw in the test was that it wasn't really hard numbers, but they were a little bit simpler. So um, you can do that 4 times 20, 26. And then once you take it out the square root, 4 out of the square root is going to be 2. And then you divide it, and then you're going to get, final answer is negative 6 plus minus square root of 26. And then it's going to be two solutions, the negative 6 plus, and then negative 6 minus. We're going to go back to exhibit A for completing the square. Right. So in the first equation, you can solve it by completing the square. You don't have to. You can use the quadratic formula. So for the completing the square, you always want to use the b over two, uh, parentheses b over two close parentheses to the power of two. To get your c. So first you want to add or subtract 63 from both sides, and then leave the space right next to the 16 where the 63 was, because you're gonna put in the b over 2 square thingy inside that empty space. Once you do that, you're gonna get you'd be 16 over 2, because 16 is your b. 16 over 2, and then you divide that, it's gonna be 8. And then once you square root it, it's gonna be 64. And then it's gonna be x squared plus 16x plus 64. And then on the other side, you also have to add 64, because if you do one side, you got to see the other side. X plus 8 equals 1. And then you can rewrite it as parentheses x plus 8 plus parentheses squared equals 1. And then now you can unsquare root it or something, whatever it's called. And then you do it to both sides. And then now you're going to get x plus 8 plus minus 1, because, or whenever you try to get the square root of something, it's going to be plus and minus, because it could be both answers, because negative 1 squared equals 1, I guess. So then so x plus 8 equals 1, and then now you can you you want to find both the solutions, because there's plus and minus 1. So x equals negative 7, and x can equal negative 9. We're gonna use that Chinese technique I talked about earlier. So whatever LCD, the LCD is going to be the three numbers, and you just write in three different terms right next to each other. So the LCD is going to be parentheses x close parentheses, and then parentheses x plus 3 close uh parentheses 4 close parentheses. That's gonna be your LCD, right? And then whatever you find in, or when you multiply by both sides, what you can do is just whatever number you see at the bottom when you're multiplying, just forget about that number, and then you just do the 4 and then the x plus 3, and then because there was already the x there, so then you can do plus 4x, because the x plus 3 was already there at the bottom. And then you can also, and then for the last one, you do x, parentheses x plus 3, because 4 was already there. And then 4x plus 12. So now you distribute the 4 to the x and the negative 3. Distribute the 4 to the x and 3. Plus 4x equals x parentheses x plus 3 close parentheses. And it's going to be 4x plus 12 plus 4 equals x squared plus 3x. You want to make one side 0, so then it's going to be negative x squared plus 5x plus 12 equals 0. And then I just use the quadratic formula. You can solve that any other way, I guess. But it's going to be 5 plus minus square root 5 squared minus 4 in the parentheses, -1, and in the different parentheses, 12. Your a is going to be imaginary 1 because there's nothing in front of that x squared. And then uh, b is going to be 5, 5 is going to be b, and then 12 is going to be your c. Then you plug those numbers in, and then when you plug those numbers in, you're going to get 5 plus minus inside square root of 5 squared minus 4, and then -1 and 12. You square the 5, and you multiply -4 by the -1. Then you multiply that by 12, and then you get 25 plus 48 inside the square root, and this will be 5 plus minus on the outside, and then over 2, and then your final answer is going to be x equals 5 plus minus square root of 73 over 2. And then it's gonna be there's gonna be 2 because it's the plus and the minus. So it's just 5 plus and then 5 minus. Those are gonna be your two things. And then for f, you can just do like the Chinese technique again. You can just so you see x minus 3, what you can do is just put 3 parentheses x minus 4 at the top. Just forget about the x plus 3, right? And then yeah, you can just solve pretty easy.